Everyone's outraged about the same thing after ESPN cripples Deion Sanders' Colorado in Week 4. Introduction. When kickoff times become controversy. In college football, drama doesn't just unfold between the lines. Sometimes, it's dictated by television networks, conference deals, and kickoff times that leave fans staring bleary-eyed at their screens long after midnight. For Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, Week 4 of the 2025 season has become a flashpoint. Not because of the opponent, but because of the clock. What should have been a celebration family weekend at Folsom Field, a sold-out crowd, and the renewal of a century-old rivalry with the Wyoming Cowboys, has instead turned into a national debate. When ESPN announced that the Buffaloes and Cowboys would kick off at 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time, 10:15 p.m. Eastern, fans erupted in outrage. It's not the opponent. It's not the location. It's the timing. And in the age of after-dark football programming, Sanders' Colorado has once again been placed at the heart of a controversy that has the fan base and the sport's wider audience up in arms. The build-up, a season already buzzing. The Colorado Buffaloes under Deion Sanders are no strangers to attention. Since Coach Prime arrived in Boulder in 2022, the program has experienced a renaissance unlike anything the Big 12, or college football at large, has seen in decades. Season tickets sold out faster than ever. Merchandise sales skyrocketed. Social media mentions and national coverage put Colorado back on the map as a college football epicenter. Heading into Week 4, the Buffaloes were already one of the most watched programs in America. Their schedule, Georgia Tech, Houston, BYU, and now Wyoming, has drawn massive viewership numbers. And ESPN, sensing the opportunity, slotted Colorado into another late-night window to keep West Coast eyeballs glued and East Coast viewers testing their endurance. But if the network thought fans would quietly accept another primetime showcase, they were mistaken. The rivalry, Colorado versus Wyoming, the border war. The matchup itself carries history. Known as the Border War, Colorado and Wyoming have been locking horns for more than 125 years. While the rivalry hasn't always been even, Colorado boasts a commanding 25-2-1 record against the Cowboys. The games have often been spirited, physical, and unpredictable. The 2024 contest became an instant classic, a 70-62 shootout that stunned fans and turned casual observers into believers in the rivalry's chaotic charm. For Wyoming, led this year by linebacker Braden Johnson and quarterback Caden Anderson, the trip to Boulder is a chance to prove themselves against Sanders' high-flying offense. For Colorado, it's about maintaining dominance and living up to the hype of another sold-out Folsom Field crowd. Yet, instead of debating the X's and O's, much of the conversation revolves around the kickoff time. ESPN's call, the 8:15 p.m. Mountain kickoff. On paper, ESPN's decision makes business sense. Late-night kickoffs feed the network's after-dark strategy, designed to capture viewers long after the East Coast slate has wrapped up. In theory, this allows Colorado, a program already driving high ratings, to anchor the network's prime late slot. The game will begin at 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time, meaning fans in Colorado will be home close to midnight. For East Coast fans, however, it means a 10:15 p.m. start, with the game likely finishing after 1:30 a.m. The Big 12's announcement came via DNVR Buffs, which posted, "News: Colorado versus Wyoming in Week 4 will start at 8:15 Mountain Time and be televised on ESPN #ScoBuffs." The backlash was immediate. Fan outrage, exhaustion, humor, and sarcasm. Fans flocked to social media to vent, joke, and rage about the decision. For many, the late kickoff represents not just an inconvenience, but a pattern of national networks prioritizing broadcast strategies over the fan experience. One East Coast fan wrote, "Us East Coasters are going to be down up till 1:30 watching that skull." Another sarcastically asked, "Why? So Wyoming fans can drive back and get home at 3 a.m. Some leaned into humor, noting how geography changes everything. "I'm just happy I'll be in CA. That way it's on at 7:15. Could be even better if I was in Hawaii. But at least I'm not in New York. Others were blunt. Damn, that's hella late. The responses reveal a mix of loyalty and frustration. Fans want to support their teams, but the strain of late-night scheduling is beginning to feel like a sacrifice too far. The broader trend, Big 12 after dark. The Colorado versus Wyoming game marks the fourth time this season that a Buffaloes game will air in ESPN's late-night slot. This isn't coincidence, it's strategy. Networks have learned that Colorado is ratings gold. Deion Sanders' name recognition, combined with the Buffaloes' explosive offense and polarizing style, makes for must-watch television. ESPN has doubled down, pushing Colorado into time slots where they can carry the night. But while the ratings may please executives, the fan base is feeling the strain. Late kickoffs disrupt family schedules, make travel more difficult, and alienate East Coast viewers who represent a massive portion of the college football audience. It's a reminder that, in modern college football, the business of television often outweighs the traditions of the game. Sanders' role, the face of primetime. There's also the Deion Sanders factor. Networks know that wherever Coach Prime goes, attention follows. His arrival in Boulder didn't just transform Colorado's win-loss record, it transformed their marketability. In just 2 years, Sanders has overseen more sold-out games than any other 2-year stretch in school history. He's turned the Buffaloes into a media juggernaut. For ESPN, pairing Sanders with late-night programming is a no-brainer. But for fans, it raises a question. Is Sanders' program being overexposed? Are Buffalo's games being sacrificed to the altar of TV contracts at the expense of the people who fill the stadium and stay up all night to watch? The human side, fans struggle to keep up. For families attending the game in Boulder, the late start means midnight exits from Folsom Field. For traveling Wyoming fans, it means 3 a.m. returns. For East Coast viewers, it means pushing past 1:30 a.m. just to catch the finish. One fan summed up the tension perfectly. Big 12 After Dark is back. Baby face with tears of joy. It's both a joke and a truth. The fans know the ratings game. They understand the network's motives. But it doesn't make the inconvenience any easier. Why this matters? Football as entertainment versus tradition. At its heart, the kickoff debate isn't just about one game. It's about what college football is becoming. For decades, the sport has thrived on tradition. Saturday afternoons, rivalries, and the rhythms of campus life. But as TV contracts grow, games are increasingly slotted for prime ratings windows rather than fan convenience. Colorado, with Sanders at the helm, has become a prime example of this shift. The late kickoff against Wyoming illustrates the growing tension between college football as a sport and college football as entertainment content. Looking ahead, Colorado's balancing act. For Sanders and the Buffaloes, the task remains the same. Win games, entertain fans, and prove themselves on the field. But the fan experience matters too. If the program becomes synonymous with inconvenience, frustration may eventually outweigh excitement. As for the Wyoming matchup, the Buffaloes remain heavy favorites. Colorado's offense, even with its ups and downs, is expected to overwhelm a Wyoming team still finding its identity. But the real story may not be the score. It may be the groggy eyes of East Coast fans waking up on Sunday morning after another prime-time marathon. Conclusion: a fan base caught in the middle. When ESPN slotted Colorado versus Wyoming at 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time, they guaranteed one thing: people would watch. But they also guaranteed something else: fans would complain. It's a pattern we'll see again and again as long as Deion Sanders leads Colorado and as long as networks chase late-night ratings. For Buffalo's fans, the rivalry game remains a must-see. For East Coast fans, it's another sleepless Saturday. For ESPN, it's a win in the ratings war. And for Deion Sanders, it's just another week in a college football career that has been anything but ordinary. Because in Boulder, the drama never ends. Whether it's on the field, in the locker room, or on the TV schedule.